Captain Planet. Better get some more people up in here, man. Meantime, we're gonna listen to old school intros to songs I used to watch when I was little. Or shows anyway. What up, Taquan? How you feeling, man? How you feeling, dude? Got some news, some things to cover today. I'm sure you guys have been watching. I'm sure you guys have been watching over the last week. Some new developments with the whole entire movement, of course. We got quite a bit to talk about tonight. So we're about 5 minutes in. I'm going to let a few more people come up in here first before we start because I don't want people to miss the meat and potatoes of what we're about to talk about. I'll probably give it a few more minutes. But yeah, we got some good information today, man. We got some good information. Yeah, I've been good, man. I've been good, dude. Yeah, I'm trying to beat these allergies. My allergies been kicking my ass, man. Whatever's going on, man, with the whole situation, yo, it's got my allergies acting crazy. But I will say this though, we're gonna talk about that too, because I've been doing some reading about that also, and I think it's tied into everything that's happening. I mean, it's like, and it's people that don't even have allergies having problems. That's crazy. Like people that never had allergies are having allergy problems, and it's like a lot of people. So we'll get into that though. We'll get into that. Definitely get into that. Like I said, we'll give it like we're about almost 6 minutes in. I give it till about like let's say 7 minutes in, and then we'll start unraveling the information. But you definitely gonna learn some beneficial stuff tonight. If you don't already know, you're gonna learn. 30 more seconds, and we can get started rolling. Everybody tumbling in here slowly but surely. That's how it usually works. People bounce up in this joint, and we get a good conversation in. Good knowledge is exchanged, of course. All positive energy. Everybody wants to see everybody prosper as usual. So that's always a plus. We get in here and we bounce ideas off each other. We talk like intelligent adults, and we move that way, which is forward. and that's what we want to do. We want to keep plowing forward. You know what I mean? So that's where we at. All right, so the 7 minute mark is here. What's going on with y'all tonight, man? Been a very a pretty dope weekend for me, man. I got to do a lot of cool stuff. Got to visit relatives. Got to spend time with fam. Um, looking after my mom's dog. The thing's been getting on my damn nerves. I'm not a dog guy. Like, I don't have no problem with dogs, but yo, my thing about dogs is they take a lot of attention and care. I don't have no pets, so I ain't really used to getting up every 5 minutes and walking dogs and stuff like that. It's crazy, and it's a little much for me. So that was a little annoying, but otherwise, I had a pretty good weekend. So I had a little bit of a tornado scare. People were scared tornadoes was gonna hit in a city not too far from here, actually. And I mean, I never worry about shit like that because there's so many goddamn hills in Maryland and so many uneven surfaces. You go down Liberty Road, for instance, in Randallstown, it's a big ass, it looked like San Francisco. It's a big ass series of hills and dips. So like, tornadoes don't get very far if they were ever to start here. Salute. Of course, my man Taquan X, BOTG squad, boots on the ground. And we always pushing the limit and pushing the envelope. All right, so let's get into it. Fellas. All right, so you heard my man Finest Thing Walking dropped the video I think it was today, as a matter of fact. He also did a video last night. I had a guy email me some good information for y'all. So apparently, if you have your foreign national passport and along with the card, if you got the card itself, you actually can use your card to not pay sales taxes. 100% facts. I shit you not. And I had to test the theory because the dude sent me the receipt, and he was like, "Yo, we heard it before in the chat." Dude came in and said, "Yeah, he was in. I think it was Big Lots or something like that." He said he was there. He bought a bunch of stuff, and he basically told him he was a foreign national. He gave him the passport and a card rather, and I think it was a number he said on there, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't have to pay taxes." So I said, "That's interesting. I need to try that," but it kind of slipped my mind. So I actually got an email from a guy who went to buy some stuff or whatever. I think he bought like some frog tape. He sent me the email with some frog tape and stuff like that. So dude ended up telling the cashier he's tax exempt. So he gave him the number on the right lower side of the passport card. So I'm holding my passport card in my hand. The way the number's gonna look, take out your passport card right now. If you're watching this and you got your passport card where you can get it, go ahead and grab it real quick because I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna learn something that's gonna help us exponentially, basically. So grab your passport card now. I'm gonna go ahead and sip this cherry juice. In the meantime, I'll wait for y'all to get y'all stuff. Give you a couple seconds. Had a salad tonight, topping it off with some cherry juice and some silver water from the from the Gauntlet of Truth. So I call this the Goblet, not Gauntlet, Goblet of Truth. All right, so if y'all got your passport card, the lower right-hand corner, the very edge, you'll see a number. It's going to say digit dash digit 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 dash digit. So that's what it looks like. It's a number, then a dash, and then some numbers in the middle, and then another dash, and then number after that. So one number after that, basically. You give that right there to the your cashier or your waitress or server when you go to pay your bill, the taxes come off. I've tried it last night. Went ahead and did the joint. I went to Buffalo Wild Wings like I said I was going to do. That's my receipt right there. And I ain't paying no goddamn taxes. Now, I did tip him because I'm not an ass face. So I did tip the guy. Not to say, judge anybody if you don't tip. But they tried to hit me with I think it was like a liquor. They got a stupid ass liquor tax here in Maryland. So they try to get over when you're real heavy. So if you go to get a drink, you paying taxes and then you got to pay a liquor tax. I think the liquor tax is something stupid. I think the liquor tax is like $1.50, some stupid crap like that. And then the actual tax was like 35 cents or something. So it ended up being, the drink ended up being, I had one fucking beer. The drink ended up being about like almost $9, if I'm not mistaken anyway. It was like maybe like 8 something. So I told the dude, I gave him my shit, told him what time it was. He had to go get the manager. My man made a joke. He made a funny ass joke. He said because our server was black. He said I gave him the information. I told my boy about it. So my boy was like, "Yeah, he had to go get a white man to help him." We not being racist. That shit was just funny though. So he ended up putting the code in the computer, and sure enough, the taxes came off. So that shit is big, man. So when you're going to buy anything, just give them that number on the passport card, and the taxes will come off. You're tax exempt as a national. You do not have to pay taxes. Taxes are optional. As we saw from the Finest Thing Walking's video he shared, I think it was the what the fuck was it? I think it was the heads of the IRS or something like that was talking to Congress. I can't remember exactly what. Maybe it was Supreme Court or something. But they had a conversation, and they specifically, repeatedly said that taxes were a voluntary system. They are not mandatory. And then if you really look into it, the IRS and all these other parachute companies or these umbrella companies, they aren't even a part of the United States. They're a separate entity. So like even the United States corporation, they're not even a fucking part of that. They got a whole separate thing going on. So yeah, that shit ain't mandatory, man. You know what I mean? So that's what time we on. The taxes came off. So when you go buy your car, when you go buy your your dinner, PS5, I might be getting one of those soon for my boy and shit. I might be doing that. I'm gonna have to drop that pack because they'll slap you over the head with taxes if you get a PS5. You figure the PS5 is like $500, and then I ain't good at math, but you got the 5% sales tax here in Maryland. You gonna end up paying some cheese on top of that five. Yeah, you might end up you damn near gonna be paying the extra $100. But sure, you give them that passport number, you gonna pay the 500, and they just gonna have to find their other way to get their tax shit anyway, because you ain't paying that shit. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? So yeah, the Alodio title joint. I'm still looking into that, yo. I was looking into the tax thing, one thing at a time for me. I was looking into the tax thing to see if that shit worked. I looked up, I tried it, as I just said, and it did work. My man just slipped me some information on the Alodio title. That's next. That's the thing I'm gonna be studying next week. I got a couple things I'm working on, but that's what we're gonna talk about next, the Alodio title. So yeah. So basically, my man is saying that there is a way that you can actually get your house if you have if you own the house or you're buying or what have you like that. You can actually get the Alodio title. That way you don't owe shit. So like the Alodio title basically takes you out of any any taxes or any other crap, unconstitutional shit on your property. If you go by the Constitution, the only thing that weighs is I think it was it silver and gold, precious metals or something like that. That's the only thing that's actually money. So like we ain't really supposed to even be paying motherfuckers fiat currency as per HJR 192. There ain't no money. That's only fiat currency. And the Constitution does not say anything about fiat currency. They say, well, you're not party to the Constitution. Well, you're not party to the Constitution if you're a U.S. citizen. If you're a U.S. citizen, you're not party to the Constitution. It's that simple. If you're a national, you are party to the Constitution because the C is capital and the Constitution itself for the 14th Amendment. So there you have it. So yes, you were party to the Constitution. And not to mention, a lot of our families were goddamn here when the Constitution was written. Whether they were on the land as natives and they hadn't been dominated yet, or whether they were, you got your white people that might have been slave owners or might have been sharecroppers or whatever. The bottom line is, when the Constitution was created, that shit was meant for the Americans on the soil, the natives of the land, which we are. So there you have it. So yep. So we're gonna get to that Alodio title thing too. Yeah, the tax thing is definitely dead. We ain't doing that shit. Shout out to Finest Thing Walking. Go subscribe to my man's. That is my my co-D partner in not even crime, my partner in light, basically, we'll say. Partner in moving forward, shining the light on this situation. That's what we doing. So BOTG click, BOTG squad, boots on the ground. We're making moves and we are doing this ever so gracefully. All right, so moving on from the tax thing. We already know what time it is with that. So if you saw that joint, you good. If you're catching this after we're not live anymore, go and do that. Now, all right, so look, another thing I wanted to talk about. So let's get into some other stuff. So my sister was actually traveling to Las Vegas this weekend, and she sent me some messages in the my Instagram, and she was sending me some pictures that were very interesting. So here's what I'm gonna do. Let's try this. Now I ain't good at this, so y'all might have to walk me through it because I'm kind of retarded when it comes to this kind of shit. So hold on. I want y'all to look at this shit right here. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. Let y'all see it. Hold on. So we can pull this up. Chrome tab. Here it is right here. Check this out. All right. All right, so this right here, if you look out of the window when you're traveling west from the East Coast, this is what you see looking out the window. Now, it doesn't take a genius to know that humans do not have the technology to do something like this. And if you think we do, you probably need to get your goddamn head checked because you might be retarded yourself. Um, Humans do not have, or man does not have the technology to do anything like this. Now, this is obviously done by a higher intelligence. Now, what the higher intelligence is, we'll leave up for debate. Some people would say the most high, some people would say aliens, some people would say something else, some people would say divine energy, some people believe, what they believe. But if you look at this stuff, man, I mean, it's obvious that these perfect circles, and the more you look at them, the more interesting it gets. Take a look at that right there. This is an actual overview of some land when you're headed west. This looks like this looks like a computer code or something like, I don't know, man. This looks like graphics or something like that to me when you look at it. I mean, we talking about the Matrix and all this, but when you start looking at these pictures, man, this stuff gets more and more interesting. Take a look at this. Oh shit, hold on. I think I fucked it up. Hold up. Go back. Back. Damn it. Hold on. All right, there we go. Yeah, I clicked the wrong button. But yo, take a look at all this stuff, man. You look at all these circles and all this. And I don't know what that is down in the lower left hand. That's Minecraft. But yeah, if you start looking at this stuff, man, it just looks more and more interesting the more you look at it, Look at that right there. This is actual views. So with that said, that's very interesting, yo. Like, yo, and some of these circles and things of that nature that are there, they're perfectly organized in such a way that it has to mean something. And we were talking about the simulation theory a little while back, where we might be living in a simulated reality, and the Most High could be what's controlling this reality, what have you. I mean, there's so many different religions and so many different people believe different things. But I've always been a firm believer that there's truth in every corner of facet. I mean, everything might not be true in that particular way of thinking, but I think there might be some truth in those. You know what I mean? You just tried to do. Oh, good looking out on that, man. I'm glad that I think there might be some truth in that. So we really start to think about, what these I don't even think they're really crop circles. These are just designs in the grass. And the more you look over top of the landmass, the more perfect symmetry you see. Like you'll ride over the landmass to where you live, and you'll see perfect squares and rectangles organized like geometry straight ahead, and it looks like it was done by something, man. You know, so that's some interesting stuff. So yeah, that was very interesting. So I mean, if you guys have any opinions about that, I would definitely be interested in hearing what you had to say about it. But me personally, I kind of believe that it could be a situation where that's pretty much part of the simulation or something like that. It could be, whatever you believe. If that's what we are, and we are truly living in the simulation, like the simulation theory says, that could very well be programming or something like that. I mean, just to put it out there. So yeah, man, that was crazy. So let's move on to this New Earth thing. So the thing with the New Earth, with the whole entire sun, if you looked outside at Friday and I would say Saturday around 12 o'clock, I believe the sun was like super powerful. Like the sun was not this. I look at this all the time, and I have been looking at it for a while. And I've noticed changes in the sun ever since like 1995 when I was younger. The sun it just shined a little different. It's hard to explain. Like when we used to go outside when we were kids, it seemed like the sun was like way brighter. And then I think it changed around like 1999 or 8 or something. And then like from then on up till like just about probably I would say last year, the sun just was different. is effervescent as it is now. I don't know. It shines a little different. So then I started to think about how you had what was it? Jupiter aligned with, I think it was Mars or something like that last year. I gotta check into that. Hold on, I don't want to say the wrong shit. Hold up. Let me double check this. Yeah, I think it was Jupiter. Let me see here. Hold on. Yeah, it was Saturn and Jupiter. I knew it was one of them. Saturn and Jupiter. So when Saturn and Jupiter aligned, it was supposed to have caused like a difference. And the theory was that Jupiter would have gotten ignited into a star. So looking into some of these other theories from some of these other walks of life, they're believing that the old sun burnt out and the new sun is actually Jupiter that caught fire, because everybody knows Jupiter was like basically like a ball of gas. So Jupiter was supposed to have caught fire, from what I understand. And they were saying that the new sun is basically replacement for the old one. So this one's substantially brighter. What I'm noticing is the pollen this year is extremely strong. That last year, I remember the pollen was not as strong as it has been this year. The sun, it's like there's a different, the plants are energized or something like that. I don't know, but people that never had allergies, like I've had allergies my whole entire life. Spring allergies are usually the worst for me. This year is damn near unbearable. Like, I can't even goddamn think half the time. But people who never had allergy problems are having allergy problems this year and suffering just as bad as I am. And it's crazy. Like, I know 3 or 4 people now who are having allergy problems who is kicking their ass. And I'm like, yo, what is the difference between now and then? And they said December 21st was supposed to be some kind of change, a new era or something like that, or the end of an era or whatever. But if that's the case, maybe it's a situation where there is a new sun and the new power from that sun is energizing the plants even more and it's causing more pollen. I don't know, man. It's just something to think about. White people were the slaves, first the slaves in America. You talking about the Irish? We so-called blacks are already here. Like, yeah, I know that. I know that. Yeah, I know about the Irish and all that stuff. The Irish always say, "Well, we were slaves too." I know about all that. Yeah, that's facts, though, man. The Great Conjunction, the Great Reset. Yeah. Yep. What's up, man? How you feeling, Philip? What up with you? So yeah, man, it's very interesting how this pollen is so damn powerful. Like, I literally will wash my car off, and in a day or two, my shit is like covered in thick yellow pollen. Like, literally, I won't even drive it nowhere. I literally, my bad, I won't even travel nowhere. I wash my mouth. I won't even go nowhere. The car will just be sitting in the lot, and then I come out 2 days later, and it'll just be covered in pollen. I'm like, yo, this is crazy, man. So yeah, I think there's something to that, man. I would definitely look more into it. But apparently there's a new moon too. They were saying it's a new moon also. And the moon's been like damn near full moon every night. You look in the moon, it's directly over top of you, first off. I remember the moon always used to be off to the side before, but now it's directly over top of you. Same with the sun around 12 o'clock, it's straight over top of you. So that's a difference. But the moon's also brighter now too. Also, if you ever noticed before, I don't know if it's the same way now, but if you ever notice when you leave your car outside at night and it's directly in the moonlight around this is usually around, I want to say this is fall when this happens. I don't think it happens in summertime because of the heat. But in fall time, usually, if you leave your car outside and it's sitting right under the moonlight, you'll notice frost all over your car, but only if it's directly exposed to the moonlight. If you leave it under a tree and the tree is taking the brunt of the moonlight, the car won't have frost on it. I noticed that I tried this experiment like the year before the last. I left my car under the moon because somebody had mentioned it to me. So I left the car under the moon out in the parking lot, and yes, it did have the frost. So the following night, same temperature, same exact temperature. I left the car underneath a tree, and the tree was blocking the moonlight, and I had zero frost on the hood or the windows. I had to scrape off shit in the morning. It's very interesting stuff, man. So that's interesting. So, man, what if it was a situation where the moon was responsible for the temperature change? What if it was a situation where we're in a giant let's say a simulation or something like that, or it's a computer controlled room or something like that. Just theoretically, let's put it out there because we think outside the box. Let's say that was a situation in the heat end of it, responsible for how hot it is the sun, and what's responsible for how cold it is was the moon. And as it rotates, the temperatures change. Let's say that was the case. We already talked about the flat Earth, so we already pretty much know what time we on with the Earth. We know the Earth ain't no goddamn globe from all the research we've done. So somebody's lying about something. I think that's pretty straightforward. Somebody's damn lying about something. Shout out to my man Knowledge Well Media. Also, follow him. I had a long conversation with Knowledge Well Media. That's KNOWLEDGE, Well WELL space media. My man is very intelligent. Also, I definitely put him to the test. I had him talking and spitting his game. My man was talking some truth. I went ahead and I checked him with the none other than this right here, while he was talking, to make sure he knew what he was talking about. And I'll be damned, I learned some stuff from him. my man sharp. There he is right there. Subscribe to my man Knowledge Well. But I went ahead, had a long conversation with him, and we talked about my man has a remedy, and we should definitely take a look at what he got to say. Give my man a chance to talk. So what I'm probably gonna end up doing, did you get the your Knowledge Well? Did you get that StreamYard I told you to download? Because if you do, we can do that. We can talk to you tonight. We can ask you some questions tonight. After I go through my gambit here, we can ask you some questions tonight, and we can get on par with everything. You know what I mean? Or just let me know what time we on with that. Holla at me. But anyway, let's move on a little bit. So one of the subscribers mentioned in one of the other shows we had done about the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu was an ancient Chinese philosopher, pretty much. And like I said, we talked about this before again. I did know who Lao Tzu was already. I knew he was a philosopher. Metal Gear Solid games, a lot of good information in those games if you ever played them. But yeah, Lao Tzu had some pretty good stuff to say. So what I started to do was read the Tao Te Ching. Yo, if this has to be the most beautifully written I want to say book, but it's a little deeper than that. Like, I want to call it life advice because it's so intricate the way this dude puts everything, and every sentence is a quotable. Like, literally, let me see if I can find some of his quotables on here because I was taking notes. Here we go, right here. I was taking notes. So listen to some of this profound stuff this dude was talking about back in the day. And this is Asia's always been the mecca pretty much for spiritual awakeness and consciousness. That's why the monks and everything were really spiritually awakened, and they had an understanding of different things. And a lot of philosophers came from there too. So look, check it out. All right, so the dude says, "It's one of my favorites." Hold on. All right, so he says this. All right, he who talks doesn't know. He who knows doesn't talk. But hold on. So he says, he elaborates later. He who doesn't talk, or he who knows doesn't talk, but words are no hindrance to him. He uses them as he would use gardening tools. When someone asks, he answers. So that struck deep to me because, like, I was always the guy that learned something and then I want to go and I want to talk and tell people this, that, and the third, and try to give people information when nobody's actually asking for it. And then the problem with it is it does this. It goes right out. So like you can't force information down people's throat. The passport stuff, I tried to help my people out with that. People I know, a lot of people wasn't interested. They didn't care. They heard it, but they weren't listening, if that makes sense. Or they listening, but they didn't hear it. And that got to me for a while because I was trying to figure out why people wouldn't want to be free themselves. But then I stopped and thought about it like, yo, it ain't meant for everybody. Or like where a lot of us are going, a lot of people are not supposed to be following with us, man. You got to have a certain mindset to go where we're going at. And freedom is only meant to be obtained by those who are able to obtain it, if that makes sense. So that struck deep to me. And yeah, you could say, hey, look, it could mean different things to different people. That's true. But I mean, interpretation is pretty much there for stuff like this. You got to interpret it the way you can interpret it. So they say spiritual teacher's problem, back to what I was just talking about. They have to be blabbermouths, but their words are fingers pointing to the moon, like Bruce Lee said in Enter the Dragon. If you watch the finger, you can't see the moon. That's deep too. That's deep too. I mean, he's got a whole bunch of quotables in here, man. He's got some dope stuff. I got literally 2 pages of quotables. I was just taking notes as I was listening to this. So it's good stuff. The Tao Te Ching by Lo Zhu. Go ahead and check it out. His name is Laotzu. Tao Te Ching. Te Ching. So there you have it. Also, I went ahead and somebody was asking me about this. I mentioned the Moldavite last time. So I went and picked up this little bad boy right here. The crystal Bible here has got a whole bunch of crystals in it. And I'm basically reading through it. There's some interesting stuff in here too. It talks about Moldavite and a whole bunch of other different crystals. I was telling one of my other subscribers about something called Sugalite. So hold on. Let me try to pull it up. If I can find the damn thing. I hate when you need something you can't find it. Whatever you're not looking for, there it is. Here it is. All right. All right. So this is what I was talking to him about. The color is usually a purple or violet pink. Colors, the appearance is opaque, lightly banded, or rarely translucent. All sizes often tumbled. The rarity is available from specialists, so it's not very common. So Sugalite is a love stone. So basically, if you got Sugalite, it encourages love and purple ray energy. It's an earth stone, all that different stuff like that. So it's supposed to help with the chakras and all that other stuff too. Interesting stuff, man. So yeah, I was reading about that, so I told him about that too. So basically, what I was gonna start doing is once a day, or not even once a day, but probably once a week, I'll just drop a stone and you can look into it and read up on it and all that good stuff. Yeah, pretty good information, man. The Moldavite, as I'm learning more and more about it. I mean, I already knew it was a change stone. You put Moldavite on, you better expect to go through some changes. I mean, your life's gonna go to a different reality. I mean, them stones and the Infinity Wars, man, all that stuff is real, bro. Like they put this stuff as media programming. They drop it on you so that they can familiarize you with it. That way, when they do it, it can work. I think it's called Norse magic or something like that. They got to tell you what they're doing before they actually use it, or else it won't work the right way. Streamlabs. It's StreamYard, yo. StreamYard. It's StreamYard. It's pretty simple to use. I figured out how to use it, so you could definitely figure it out. Ah, boy. All right, so yeah, so moving from there. So yeah, just different information, looking into different stuff. So let's do this then, man. Let's have I'm trying to get my man to call in. So until he calls in, we can do some Q&A. I want to drop some questions. We can move from there pretty much. Moldavite is great for reconnecting neurons. Elders should be encouraged to use it. Yeah. A whole lot of cool stuff with it, man. Definitely. There's a whole lot of cool stuff with it, man. What I noticed, again, I'll reiterate too, in case you didn't see the other video or anybody didn't see it. When I first put it on, I noticed that I had problems sleeping. Like, yo, my body temperature was hotter. I felt like I was hotter. And it was because I had more energy. So when I would go to lay down to go to sleep, I had too much goddamn energy. So like I literally wasn't able to go to sleep the first 2 nights. I'm standing up looking at the ceiling Literally can't go to sleep for 2 nights. And I wasn't even tired the following day. Like when I woke up and did what I had to do throughout the day, I wasn't tired at all. I had enough energy for 2 whole days. It was crazy. So yeah, that's something to think about, man. Don't be like a dumbass like me and just throw it on and expect everything to be all good. Ease your way into that, man, because that's a lot to chew, whole lot to chew. Getting a job, shit, I would do it before getting a job, Rome. I'll be honest with you. I would do it before getting a job. That way, when you go to do you get your job, you can do the I-9. That way, you ain't gotta pay them taxes, baby. Cause they're gonna try to hit you with that W-2, and we don't, you know what I mean? We don't roll like that. We don't try to engage in those shenanigans. Never buy moldavite from China. Never buy. Hey, I would say anything from China, but everything is made in China. So I'm not gonna say that. But yeah, stuff like that you want to make sure you don't get from China because they on some bullshit. They have like green plastics that they classify as moldavite. Other stones too that are phony as hell. Yeah, we literally just talked about that, Will. Like that was one of the first things we talked about when we started up tonight. We talked about the sales tax exemption. Yeah. But yeah, that's dope, man. Like, yo, hey, go out there and get yourself a car, buy yourself a car from a dealership, man, give them that number and pay zero taxes. Yo, it works just like an EIN number, really. I-9 form is basically it's a form you fill out basically that classifies you as I think it's a non-resident alien if I'm not mistaken or something like that. I gotta look at it again, but it's basically a form you fill out instead of having to do like W-2s and shit like that or like get back W-2s, you know what I mean? You basically do that and then you're exempt from paying income taxes. I think you can do a W-8BN for that too. I've never done either one of them honestly. So, but yeah, it works. Your tax exemption works like an EIN number pretty much as far as the waiving taxes. Like I know if you have an EIN number and you were to purchase, like let's say you have an auto shop and you have an EIN number for an auto shop. If you were to go and purchase parts from an auto shop or something like that, or a store or something, then you would be tax exempt from them parts. It waives sales taxes. So yeah, we were talking about that too. We talked about the we supposed to be getting to that this week, the lower your title. I got some information about a lower your titles and all that cool stuff. So we need to look at that because if we're talking about property taxes, that's a whole different animal. I mean, they're gonna try to tax you on every goddamn thing, man. They're gonna try to draw your blood on everything. So it's crazy though, because you know what's interesting? Jumping subjects. I watch all these guys post videos complaining about the Second Amendment about to be taken from them and all this stuff. And Joe Biden's supposed to be having meetings trying to create executive orders to take guns and all this other stupid shit. And I just look at him and I just be shaking my head like, yeah, I literally say nothing. Like, yo, back in the day when I first got all this shit, I be in there telling them, y'all need to change your status. Like, I don't say shit no more. I just look at him and shake my head. I'm like, yo, y'all supposed to be constitutionalists and y'all don't even understand what the hell you looking at, You looking at the Constitution, you done read it like 50 times, but you still don't know what the fuck you read. Fact of the matter is, as long as they got y'all under that 14th Amendment and got y'all U.S. citizens by the balls, you don't have no goddamn rights. You got privileges. Says it clear as day. And they calling you a person, they calling you a legal fiction. Person is a legal fiction. Black's Law Dictionary 1 to 5. That's a person. That's a legal entity. A person. So if you claim to be a legal entity, hey, they're gonna control that. That's the U.S. citizen right there. The legal entity, that's the U.S. citizen. They control that U.S. citizen. So if you volunteer yourself to be a U.S. citizen, guess what? You're gonna do what the hell they tell you, or you'll be out there having a gunfight out front of your house with the police and get fucked up because you're not gonna beat the goddamn police in a gunfight. That's stupid as shit. If you plan on opening fire on some goddamn police when they come to your house to take your guns, that is a failed plan from the beginning. Which probably ain't gonna happen, to be honest with you. But if you plan on doing some stupid shit like that, you an idiot. So, like, all I'm gonna tell people like that is make sure you make sure you understand what you're reading, and make sure you understand remedy, because at the end of the day, that's all you got. What up? What up? What up? How you been? How you been? I ain't seen you in a minute. I was like, yo, I thought you stopped getting on YouTube or something. Long time subscriber there. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Dog get on my nerves. And the dog literally just sits there and stares at me like Michael Myers. Like, yo, I'll be watching TV and like I'll take my eyes away from the TV for a second to get something to drink, like reach over to grab a drink, and then the dog is looking at me like Michael Myers look at like the lady that his sister through the window with the mask. I'm like, yo, what are you looking at? Stop staring at me like that. It's goddamn weird as hell. You asking a lot of information. You probably gonna have to hit me on the inbox because you know, that's gonna be one of them questions that we have to go back and forth on. But we gotta keep it moving tonight, bro. My Instagram is right in the description. Hit me on there and slap me a message. And then as soon as I get back on, I'll be glad to answer any questions of what I would do, because I do not give legal advice. I'm not a lawyer or an authorized attorney. If you need legal advice, please talk to a lawyer or please talk to an authorized legal representative, which is not me because I don't do that shit. My man, not to be an asshole. Revocation of signature, my property tax rule. I never agreed to put land on with. Yeah. Yeah. I heard that's a fight though, man. I've heard people talk about it, but I heard that's the fight. The fight is that, like, yo, my man, if you're gonna take it to him like that, that's not gonna be an easy one, but it is doable. I mean, all things are pretty much doable. Send me an invite. Yeah, hold on. I got you. I got you, bro. Sit tight for a second. All right, jump in that joint, man. Jump on that joint so we can interview my man's. There he is. Yeah, so what was I talking about? Yeah, that's the fight. I mean, they're gonna try their damnedest to not give you your stuff back, but if you stick to your guns, I've heard it can be done. And same thing with like people said they were discharging mortgages, which I have a hard time believing that. I've heard our Bad Wolf said he tried that shit and they basically took his signature and they of course, you know what they do with signatures at this point. If you don't know, look into look into titles and stuff like that and what they do with like your original birth certificate and all that, which you should know if you're a national, because we talk about this stuff all the time. But yeah, so they basically took his signature and they sent him a letter back saying, yeah, we don't you got to make some other kind of payment. We don't do that. And they gave him a copy of the signed certificate he sent them on bond paper. So they kept the bond with the bond paper with his name on it, and they gave him back a copy of it, which means they sold the signature off, which is what banks do when you sign that shit. You basically signing your name, and your name is the credit. You're the creditor. But when you sign it, you're actually making yourself the debtor and making them the creditor. Which in the beginning, you're the creditor, they're the debtor. You gotta remember, man, when they took all the gold, they pretty much stated themselves as debtors. But when we contract with them, they contract to be creditors and we be debtors. So that's how it works. It flips around. Hey, yeah, man. Hey, hey, look, I'm not speaking against it, man. I'm not speaking against it, man. I've never tried it. That's all I'm saying. So you could be absolutely right. And if so, I mean, do tell, because we're all here. We all want to get this information and circulate it. So yeah, I mean, I ain't against that. If you know what to do, man, go for it, yo. Definitely. Superior Court. There you go. Superior Court is I've heard the strongest court is in Pennsylvania. Is that true? The strongest court I think is in Pennsylvania. It's not Supreme Court that has the most power. It's the one that's in Pennsylvania, which might be Superior Court. That's what I've heard. Though. I was reading up on it today, and that's what they were saying. I thought that was pretty cool. So yeah, my man James, yo, my man the Bad Wolf. What's up, man? How you feeling, dude? The myth, and the legend in the flesh. Damn, we got a star-studded cast here tonight. We got James C. Lovett, the Bad Wolf. We got Knowledge Well Media, and we got my man, none other than where he at? 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 What up? I just saw him earlier. Where he at? Yeah, that's my man right there. Yeah, but hold on, I'm trying to find him. Hold up. I think he dropped one comment, but then there he is. Finest thing one. We got everybody in here tonight. So look, we can do a Justice League conference where everybody can call in and then we can all discuss. I mean, you know what I mean? We can do something like that if that's what y'all want to do, you know? If y'all got time or that's what y'all want to do, we can do that. There's the link to get in. We can have a discussion, man. We can start talking about this stuff. And if you want to talk about titles and stuff like that and basically Elodio titles and all that, Bad Wolf's probably gonna be the one, you know, he's probably gonna be the guy for that. You know, because like I said, I've never done it before, so that's probably gonna be the guy right there. On phone there, my man. Is it that simple though? Is it that simple? I mean, I can imagine they'd put up some kind of fight because they don't want to let go of them property taxes, yo. Once you start taking your property, yo, we have to understand the way this system is designed, yo. The meat and potatoes is property. Like that's the actual meat and potatoes of the shit. That's the foundation of everything. Like the property they own. We can take back property. What else do they have? If we got all our property back, I mean, you know, we start our own community and box them out. You see what I'm saying? So like taking property, that's big, man. That's big. That's gonna be a fight. You know, risk versus reward on that. You know, that's what I'm thinking anyway. That's how I'm thinking about it. If we doing that, you know, that's gonna be dope. Nice, Rick Alexander. Good looking out on that. Yeah, I saw the Ladonia joint. I looked up the Ladonia thing on. I couldn't do the Ladonia thing. Here's why, yo. I thought it was a little funny. I mean, I know. My man James C. Lovett said he did that and it worked out for him, which is cool. I'm not against it. But for me, when I looked up Ladonia and I actually saw how Ladonia looked, like yo, Ladonia is actually like it's like a outside outlaying landmass on the beach with a giant high rise of bamboo sticks held together by vines and like ripped up t-shirts and a bunch of other shit. And like I'm looking at it like, yo, this is different, but I don't think I would say I don't think I'd say I'd be a citizen of Ladonia. I don't think I could do that. It's not for me. But I mean, hey, it works though. I'm not saying it don't work. It does work. You know, so yeah, there you have it. Looking to massive mortgage. There's a hidden mortgage on your land. It's a land mortgage that is never satisfied. Yeah. That's the property taxes, right? Is that what you're talking about? Is that what you mean? The property taxes? Because like, yo, even if you have your house paid off, if you don't pay them property taxes and go about it the right way, they can still take your house, which is complete bullshit. If you paid for your house and your house is paid off or whatever, even if you use fiat currency, your shit is done and taken care of, and your responsibility is satisfied, and they still take your property, that's bullshit. That's complete bullshit. That's 100% bullshit. So there you have it. That's how I feel about that right there. Load your title from an old cat who's done it for ES Files. See, that's the shit right there. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. It's a Justice League of knowledge, man. That's what we boost. I'm the boots on the ground guy. I'm the tell me what to do and I'll do it type shit and show you it works. My man, fine as he's BOTG too, but he's in heavy in the books. My man Lovett is in the books too. I'm in the books also, but on other things also. And my man, Knowledge Well, this guy, he knows statutes. This dude can tell you codes. I mean, it's all kinds of stuff this dude can do with information. So I mean, I learned from him a lot of times. You know what I mean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You did say that too. Ladonia is a recognized micronation. I did see that when I looked into it. It is its own nation. It was given its own basically sovereignty, pretty much. So yes, it is a recognized nation. It is. Don't get it twisted. But you can do it at your house too. He says. I remember he did say that. You could be like the king. I think if you sign your name in purple, that's royalty. So you could be like the king of your of your nation or independent nation in your house on your allodial land, I believe. That hidden mortgage, yeah, man. See, that's that sneaky shit, man. But that's how the systems operate. It has to operate in the shadows because these cowards know if we figured it out, they couldn't do shit about it. You know, bunch of cowards, man. If you gotta operate in the shadows and you gotta hide like a bitch, man, you can't really, stand on your own too, and at least tell somebody what you're doing. To me, that's super cowardly, man. And stuff like that can't last. I mean, what was done in the dark always comes to light, and it's only gonna be a matter of time before you get a solid amount of people like us and start figuring shit out and start working against it. I mean, it was bound to happen, yo. It was bound to happen. Ah, boy. I'll post the link here. I'll post it again though, but I put the link literally right here in the chat. Here you go, man. You should be able to get on here right from there. The Ladonia thing, but yo, yeah, the Ladonia thing, man. It looked crazy to me. Like I was looking at it like, bro, I don't even want to I don't even want to say I'm a part of this nation and have it be a situation they say, well, fuck you, go back then and just send me over to this bitch. And next thing you know, I'm sitting on a log in front of a fire lit up with 5 twigs, and I'm holding a ripped piece of t-shirt for a plate. Like, nah, bro, I couldn't do it, man. Like, yo, nah, not for me. At least not like Dolo like that. Now, if we did our own thing and started building our own shit, that's different. But somewhere like that where you have to literally start with shit, like you have nothing. You get off the plane with your hands. That's what you got. Like, nigga, goddamn, can I get a break? Shit. Can I get a break first? Allodial is a color of law term. Okay. There's a common law term you need to use. What's okay? So I guess that might be in the information he sent me. William Werner, if you're new to this, in this chat, William Werner dropped me some information. As a matter of fact, I'm sorry, it wasn't William Werner. It was my man King of New York. He dropped me some information on the my email, which my email is HELEEHUMS@yahoo.com. You can hit me up in there if you have any questions. And dude dropped me some good stuff. And he was basically dropping me some stuff on allodial land, allodial title. I haven't gotten a chance to really study it yet because I was looking into other things, but it looks legit so far from what I'm hearing from everybody. So there you have it. Merely record once registered in their jurisdiction. Yeah, that's the same thing they did with the cars we put in there when we registered our cars. It's the same thing we did. We went to register our cars thinking it was for our benefit, and it actually turned out to be a trap. So next thing you know, you got Caesar basically owning your house and owning your car, man. Basically telling you can't do this, you can't do that. You got to put my plates on it. You got to put stickers and all this other nonsense on it. You got to do an inspection. Maryland is the worst. Let me tell you why Maryland is the worst. Maryland is the worst because here's what you have to go through to register a car here. No, it might not be like Cali because I heard Cali's pretty bad too. But let me tell you what you got to go through in Maryland to register your car. All right, this is going to sound like utter ludicrous. All right, so once you get the car, of course, you got to get the tags and all that stuff. There he is. Give me 1 second. Let me finish up this point. Yeah, I see you right there. Give me 1 sec. So look, once you finish up, once you get your tags and all that stuff, you get temporary tags. So when you get the temporary tags, I believe you have I think it's like, what is it, a month or something like that? A month, or might be 2 months now, to get all this work done. So you have to go to get your car inspected. You have to do a Maryland state inspection. Maryland state inspections usually range from about $95 and up, depending on where you go. That's just to get it looked at. When you take it in to get an inspection, you have to get, I think it's over like 80 different components checked, and every single one of those components have to pass, which means they have to be functioning and they have to be operational. If it's lights, they got to be shining perfectly bright. If it's suspension, it has to be tight. Your brakes have to be good. I mean, it's really, really, really in depth. So let's say you buy a car that's a 2008 because you don't have money to buy a new car and you don't want to make payments. You buy the car for 2 grand. You got a grand to spend to get it where it needs to be at. You go ahead and you get the car inspected. It turns out you need about 2 grand worth of work because the car is a goddamn 2008 and it's 2021. So here you have a car that needs brakes, power steering, tires, a whole bunch of shit. So you have in that time frame where you have that temp tag to get your car straightened out with the inspection. You gotta get all that shit together, and it better be done by the time that tag expires. Because if it don't, that car is gonna be sitting. So here you are. You paid 2 grand for the car. You paid another 2 grand just to get the work done. Let's say you had to save the money up. Now your tags are expired. Now you got to find a way to go back to the DMV. You got to get your tags updated. You got to turn in your paper. It's a crazy nightmare, and that's just on the good side. I've seen cars need up to 3 grand worth of work, man. It's crazy, you know. So when we talk about Maryland, you know, Maryland's inspection is crazy, and it's everything has to pass. It's stupid as hell, and it's like, and then let's talk about emissions. You got to take your car to the EIP station every 2 years, and it has to pass emissions, which means the emission test costs like I think $30 or $40 or something stupid like that. If you late, they charge you a late fee. Every day you late or every day you not there, they charge you like $5. If you fail, they fail your car. If you don't get past if you don't pass it within like I think the next time you take it is like another like 3 weeks or something like that, then they suspend your registration on it. It's just so many stupid ass ways they got you by the balls. So Maryland is ridiculous. So look, Nationals ain't got to go through that. We go ahead, we get our passport, we get our car, we take care of everything we got to take care of in terms of making it safe for us, and we travel. That's what we do. So right now I have my man Knowledge Well here, very intelligent man. This is the guy I was talking to you about. He has all the answers. So without further ado, man, introduce yourself.
Hey, what's going on with you, A6? I want to give shout out to James Lovett, give shout out to Finest Thing Walking. Brothers in the struggle, man. We doing it. You know, it's about time we come together. So I've been walking with you guys maybe about 5-6 years in this thing. And it's full speed ahead.
Facts. All right. So yeah, without further ado, we got my man here. And then this is basically he works a lot hand in hand with Bad Wolf. So, you know, a lot of information that he says pretty much I'll basically verify, and then Bad Wolf will be saying the same thing. So I'll check a lot of it. He can tell you when he was talking to me the other day, I was checking the Black's Law Dictionary while he was talking to make sure everything
Absolutely.
we gotta make sure we on the same page. Never personal.
Absolutely.
So please
Uh,
tell us what you were talking about with the whole entire thing with the remedy. You were basically saying, what about status?
all right. So first of all, my specialty and what I prefer to really um, grind on, no pun intended, is the trust. So um, I know you've been doing a great job of promoting me on that aspect, from that aspect, as far as trust wise. But I'm also working on a lot of different projects, and so what A6 is referring to. Um, I kind of been digging and finding that a lot of the processes that we've been uh, jumping off into, for lack of a better term, I think we've been putting kind of the cart before the horse. And I think it's very important that we establish our status and standing first before we even try to make any stands, if you will. So, I, in digging, I'm finding that there's a certain terminology and legalese phrase known as majority. And if you know anything about trading and markets and things like that, there's two sides to the coin, if you will, and there's the minority position and there's the majority position. Because I can't give you everything. A6 knows I don't put everything out. You know, I don't believe in casting your pearls, but I can give you a little bit to tease you, enough to get you interested. And I believe that the issue is the birth certificate and the certificate of live birth. I believe that these are the keys, the tickets, if you will, just like in the Wizard of Oz. Dorothy was told by the professor that you had the ticket with you the whole time. You had the power the whole time, and you just didn't know it. Okay, so that's what I contend is going on here. So that certificate of live birth, I contend, is actually your stock, and the birth certificate is actually the stockholder, the shareholder, the legal capacity. Capacity it speaks to your ability to act or do things. If you look under the Social Security Administration's website, everybody should look at this. In fact, it's called the POMS manual, the POMS. Everybody should check that out, and you'll find that this is actually the instruction manual to all of the Social Security Administration employees. This is what they are to look for, or how to treat anyone making any kind of a claim, whether it's nationality or what have you. And so in there, you will find, when it deals with the legal name, that they actually tell you that the legal name is a translation from your given name and surname. So you are born with a given name. It's the name that your mother or father gives to you, okay? And the surname is the name of the family lineage that you come from. And so in this manual that I'm referring to, the employees are actually instructed to translate your given name and surname into what's known as first name and last name. That should send red flags to anyone that's in this movement, because there is a language called legalese, and it is constructed and contrived. It is the brainchild of the legal system, and it's not for everyone to know. Okay, so when they're saying in the Social Security manual to translate your given name into what's known as the first name or first name is actually a legalese terminology. Okay, so they are admitting right there that they are actually translating, meaning to take from one language and turn it into a completely other language. That's what they're doing to your given name. They are actually recognizing, you may say it recognizing, but the actual way you should be saying it is recognizing. Okay? That's what they're doing to you. And that's the conversion from your man state, your first and natural state, into a legal entity. And I have a lot of proof to show you how they do it and why they do it.
Yep. Hey, deep stuff, man. And 100% facts. That Palms manual blew me away. I actually took notes from when I was talking to him, too, and I took a look at the Palms manual while he was talking, and he basically verified all that stuff. It's right on the website. It's not hidden. All of this stuff is out there. I mean, we're not saying anything that's really secret. If you know where to look, the stuff is there. So, I mean, as far as remedies and stuff like that go, we just got to know how to do it pretty much. So, please tell us how they can contact you via email if they have any questions. Tell us any authentication, services you may have. Plug yourself.
All right. So as far as email, it's knowledgewell for the number 4 u, the letter U, at gmail.com. All right. Also, I do have a YouTube channel that is Knowledgewell Media. So Knowledgewell is one word and then media on the YouTube channel. All right. And I also do have a CCOP research, my Facebook page. That one, I kind of do, maybe it's more of a lecture series that I do there, but you want to check that out. Trust me. If you want to get a true understanding of what's really going on behind the scenes, you want to check that out. I no holds barred there. I do also want to plug the American National Consulate. All right. It is important. It is vital. Each one of us out here, I know most of us have good-hearted intentions behind what we're doing. We're not just out here trying to be belligerent or combatant. I think that most of us out here just want to be left alone. We just want to be able to exercise our true freedoms, our nationalities, our religions, and we don't want to be molested by government influence. So with that being said, the national consulate is what we are presenting. And, you could talk to any one of us that are on here as far as A6. You could talk to Finest Name Walking. You could talk to James Lovett, and they'll point you in the correct direction. We all are leaders in our own right, so we're not looking to, overpower anyone else here. We're looking to share and form a conglomerate, because that's what they are essentially doing to us, with they being the bar members and all that. The only reason that they have the influence and power that they have is because they are a group. And if you know anything about gang type of culture, when you joined a gang, it was because you wanted to be in a brotherhood. You wanted to feel like you belong. And so the police administration, it's just a large gang. We all say it. So why can't we have our own? Why can't we have our own? And so that's what the American National Consulate looks to introduce. We will be circulating. I've spoken with A6, Finest Thing Walking. I've spoken with James Lovett. We will be circulating documentation, which we will actually be presenting to the State Department in a treaty form. Okay, we're doing this like gentlemen, like businessmen. Okay, because the only thing that from my platform I reverberate over and over again is to render unto Caesar's that which is Caesar's. Do not mess with Caesar's stuff. Stay out of his backyard. Don't touch his women, and don't take his citizens. Okay, and we don't do that. So if you are a U.S. citizen, I will say this, and I'll say this in closing: we can't mess with you, because you're making your own choice. You have to choose you this day whom you're going to serve. Okay. If you have already made your determination that you are done with the United States, and you yourself have made that voluntary choice, and you have to have already made moves in that direction before we can even touch you, because we will not go to war with Caesar. We will not touch his things. And with that, I yield.
Bingo. There you have it. There you have it. So yeah, the consulate's official. Everybody, if you're listening at the sound of our voices right now, if you have a phone nearby, pick up your phone and call the consulate number and hear how official it is. Just go ahead and take a listen to it, man. I called it. I was blown away. I thought it was gonna be. I ain't gonna lie, bro. No disrespect. I thought it was gonna be some bullshit. I was like, let me call this number real quick. This shit probably not even gonna be that professional. I felt like I was dealing with an actual, I felt like I was calling China's consulate. They had press 1 for this, press 2 for this, press 3 for this. Basically, a bot was saying, basically we want to basically have the nationals with their freedoms protected and securities from liberties, things like that. Pretty much all the stuff we're aiming for. So it blew me away how professional it was. And thing about it is, you'll always be able to get in contact with somebody from his squad, pretty much. How we call it. Right. I hate the word gang, because the word gang is that gives off weird vibes for me. So I refuse to classify me as a part of anything even associated with something like a gang, which is why it has such a negative connotation. When we're talking about the police and we're talking about a gang, that's already a double negative. Because if they weren't acting like a gang, they wouldn't be classified or called a gang. So I try to stay away from that, because they're engaged in a lot of other fuck shit. I don't know if you guys ever heard, but they've been caught in Baltimore, multiple cases, and the body cameras, I guess they forgot they had them on or something, but I think it was like 5 or 6 cases where indictments were reversed and police officers were charged with planting drugs and guns on people. This was 2 years ago, Baltimore. If you look it up, you'll see there was a string of cases and overturning of convictions, and there were actually lawsuits to the Maryland government for this happening. And there was a lot of heads rolled on that one. But yeah, man, so we start talking about gangs and stuff like that, man. We don't want to be a part of that. So I prefer to call us like a squad, really.
It's consulate relations, and that's what it is. It's, embassy type, asylum type, situations. And let me just say, the number, I wish we could put it up there. I don't know if I have the capability.
Yeah, I got you.
Okay, so the American consulate number is 1833 AMERCON. So short for American, short for consulate. AMERCON.
There you have it.
There you go. Very good. And as A6 was saying, go ahead and call and go ahead and take a lap through the prompts there and listen. And what we're proposing, the lawful backing to what we are doing here is the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations, the VCCR, and that instructs police officers, sheriffs, state troopers on how they are to deal with foreign nationals. Specifically, look that up, VCCR, the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations. And so when the police officer or sheriff or what have you pulls you over, they are instructed to immediately contact the consulate of the national that they pulled over. And they are to give immediate access to the consulate members and representatives to come to the aid of the detained. That means whether they are in prison, whether they are in lockup anywhere in the bullpen, they have to let one of us in to come represent in the court and in the prison system. Immediate access, it says. So take a look at it yourself under the VCCR, and that's what we're building here. We need 1,000 signatures. I need each one of you, with your permission, A6. I need each one of you to circulate this information to responsible individuals. Don't blow this up before we even get started, guys and gals. It's important that you be responsible with it and know who you're talking with, because you know what happens, right? So we need your help, because we do want to circulate these 1,000 signatures with thumbprints. We will be circulating those documents. So A6 on your channel, I'm sure you'll be talking to your people and everybody else out there alike. I thank you for the time.
No doubt, no doubt. And also we want to go ahead and say that we know the story about the lady that went to the bank, and we know the story about the guy who was Tokyo drifted in the U.S. naval base. Apparently, a guy slammed on the gas and did an e-brake rip and did a Vin Diesel through the U.S. naval base, and he got pulled up for it. So those type of people we're gonna try to stay clear from, because man, at the end of the day, we trying to make this peaceful. We try to make it professional, and we don't want it to be a situation where we get any negative press, because we already know what time it is with that. There's going to be some pushback from U.S. citizens anyway, because U.S. citizens are who they are. So they're going to be like, oh, that's that sovereignty. This ain't nothing like that, because all our shit is official. So this ain't none of that crap. So that's not how we choose to move right now. So, with that said, we're going to vet people very, very carefully. Call the number. I called it myself. It is very authentic. And that's what time we on with that. So thank you so much for coming through, Knowledge. And now, what I wanted to say pretty much in closing, let's make sure we try to keep a positive mindset. We're covering good ground here. I agree 100% with Finest Thing Walking. This is exactly what he said it was. This is like a brotherhood, man. We come in here. I'm seeing a lot of the same faces coming in here. It ain't overly large. It's very much respectable. We haven't had any dickheads in here being stupid. None of that stuff. So I like the way this is moving, man. Let's keep our positive vibes, our positive mindsets. Let's always try to think towards the future and progressive as we continue to move forward to freedom. So with that said, folks, I want y'all to remember that, and remember everything we talked about tonight. Play it back, call that consulate number, and think about, if that's something you're interested in moving forward to, and we can discuss later. So any other questions? I guess we'll start to wrap it up with questions first. Yeah, common law. Yes, sir. The common law courts, that is very, very important. I agree 100% with that. I agree with that. We need to be able to have our own stuff without having to go to Caesar's courts, because we all know what time Caesar courts is on, which is not official time. If we want to call it that. So yeah, it's a whole lot of fuckery behind that. So we want to avoid the goofiness. So with that said, that's where we're at. So I think that pretty much wraps it up tonight. Good conversation, good discussion. Pick up your book, Crystal Bible. Look into it. Look at some of the crystals. Very interesting information there. Check out the Tao Te Ching by Lao Tzu. Very good book there. Also, another good book to pick up too is The Art of War by Sun Tzu. That is a classic. I love that book. Check that out also. That's also pretty good. You'll start to see why all that other stuff is happening, what direction they're moving in. So, and we have it. Y'all have a good one, and make sure y'all enjoy y'all night. Get good sleep so we can hit the workforce tomorrow and make moves. It is the Foreign National Born Natural A6. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace out.